Welcome back, YouTube. So in today's video, we're going to talk about obviously Dogecoin and a rally that we're seeing here with only a couple of the coins while the rest of the market seems to be stagnant at the moment. So taking a look here at Dogecoin, we are looking at a consolidation around the 14 uh, moving day average here, and we've come up briefly here to the 72-day moving average. For those of you just tuning in, if you don't remember, it's the yellow line is the 14-day, and the orange line here is the 72. Red line here is the 200-day moving average. Now, a lot of these other coins have gotten their golden crosses, and we're able to kind of trigger that the upward momentum. We do believe that there is a sentiment going on in the market that kind of like the bottom came in around like the first week of April. And so we've kind of been bouncing off of that and seeing some liquidity come into the market in certain sectors. Like we believe that investors are taking positions in their assets, their favorite assets. Nothing has changed more so long term. We know that the tariffs and the controversy going on with China kind of threw the market for a whirlwind, but we don't believe long term that anything has changed. So right now you're seeing that these positions here, especially when you get assets below the 200-day moving average, if you're looking at things like, especially in the stock market, if you're looking at things like Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, you're going to find that these things are going to be at bargain prices, especially for long-term investors. So you're going to see capital come back into the market, and that can trigger some spillover into additional sectors. But overall, matter of fact, let me take a look here at Bitcoin, because I do believe Bitcoin, obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum as well, I should say, have received their golden crosses here across a couple sectors, and you're seeing a very strong move here to the upside. Now, obviously, if you've in the Discord, or if you've been following me like on X, one of the things that we've been waiting for is conviction, and really just something as far as for having something steady that you can say, hey, this is a deal worked out as far as for these tariffs. Because my biggest thing is when I'm looking at long-term investments or whether or not we got the best prices, obviously long-term, you can kind of average in and take these as deals and not let them pass you by and say, hey, I'm going to take positions here. But long-term, has the thing that caused the market to go down, has it been resolved? Was this fear-based? Was it news-based? Was it something that is kind of turned out to not be true? Or is this something factual that has not been resolved? Because you can see money pump back into the market. But overall, if the root of the issue has not been resolved, then you have to keep an open mind that you can see more panic come back into the market as well, especially if you don't have anything concrete. So we're talking about things like tariffs and some things like that. So it's one of the reasons why, even inside of like my group, we've taken a break here with like the options, kind of set some capital aside to look into the market, because basically, if you are trading or something like that, you can have your entire portfolio wrecked with a simple tweet or a simple, some breaking news here, or China does something, America does something, we say something, and these short-term traders, especially a few weeks ago, they were getting absolutely destroyed trying to predict the market here and things like SPY and Tesla to be specific. But overall, if I do believe long-term, for those of you who've been asking, long-term, if you're buying quality assets, strong assets, like your Microsoft, your Apple, your Tesla, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, things that we're looking at here, things that have been around for a long time, I do believe these assets are going to stand the test of time. So these things that we're looking at here, like more on a micro scale, aren't going to dictate the future here. Like, oh, they're done here. We're going into a winter here, or even during a recession. If we're going to use the R word here, these things are not going to like wither and go away. So that's not something that can be concerned with. But getting back on a topic here. So what we've seen here with Bitcoin is we've seen this very strong move here. Really, we had a start here. What is this? On the April 20th. We had kind of some sideways movement here, but what we've seen here was about a double golden cross between with the 14-day moving average between the 72 and the 200. So obviously we're getting that run to the upside. Now, the biggest thing here that is going to kind of consolidate that run is going to be around the 99, not consolidate, but confirm that run, excuse me, is going to be around that 99 to $100,000 mark. Now, I do believe that if you are charting these assets here, and if you're wondering when a big run, a big push of capital is going to come into the market, I do believe if Bitcoin is able to break that with conviction and stay above those levels, I do believe that's something that you'll see. You'll see something like a additional capital coming to the market, because it'll, in a way, it'll kind of signal saying, "Hey, look, it's possibly we've seen the bottom here. We better take that. Better take some positions now." You kind of see like that panic there, but maybe we've missed the best prices. Maybe it is over. You can see kind of like that capital come back into like the market. Because overall, let me switch over here to coin market cap so you can get a visualization of what I'm seeing. You should see, let's double check here. You should see coin market cap populating your screen now. You'll see that for the most part, the top 10 is mostly red, right? Tron is red, Cardano is red. Cardano's green, excuse me. Doge is red. Solana, XRP is turned green by 0.02%. So you'll see pretty much a sea of red here, except for barely these small percentages here, even on the week, right? The ones that are leading the charge are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, I know historically over this has been the case, but over the last year and a half, we've had, or shall I say, the market's been used to crypto kind of running together. So now you're seeing this transition here, at least in the last hour. You're seeing a 0.06, 0.43%. I'm not look at any stable coins, but 0.10% for XRP, 0.17 for Solana, 0.02 for Doge. Cardano still down, but overall you're seeing these movements here. But if you look at the last 7 days, you're going to see for the most part everything's kind of trending together and having these dips. But overall, it's still red on the 7 day. And if they are green, it's very minimal. Most of the capital flowing into the market has been into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, historically, that is correct. That's typically, if you're talking about a traditional run here, typically those assets run first. You're going to see the capital flow into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then you'll get some spillover, and you'll start to see some of the altcoins kind of run after those. So those typically have been the leader, but like I said, over the last year and a half, year or so, things typically have been running together. So this is kind of why you're seeing like that sentiment saying, oh, maybe it's maybe we're going into like a crypto winter, or such and such is pumping the leaders of the coins, and which can be the case. You can see typically big money is going to flow into those coins first, but overall we've kind of gotten away from a little bit of some of the traditions here in crypto. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for, especially with Bitcoin, because I still consider Bitcoin obsolete. I'm looking for, if I'm saying, hey, there's going to be a big run of capital inside of these assets, I'm looking for Bitcoin around that 100K mark. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a spike. I'm not looking for a 24-hour percentage or a 7-day percentage. These are great measuring points, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some conviction here on some of the bigger time frames here, and also it holding these prices. I don't care about wicks or it touched this number here. You got that live. You get the little text message from Coinbase or Robinhood. Bitcoin just had a run to 98,000. Okay, great. And then it drops $2,000. No, I'm looking, especially in turbulent times like this, I'm looking for conviction in the market in one direction or another, because right now what you're seeing is a bunch of movement, and it's not necessarily any conviction. I mean, take a look here at Doge, right? We're looking, you can go back as far as early March, right? We're in May now. We've had some peaks, some runs here like March 26th, but for the most part, over the last couple of months, you had some dips here. What is this? April 7th, and with the peak in around like March 26th. But overall, this is a flat line, right? We're just seeing these big movements here, because when you have uncertainty in the markets don't like uncertainty. When you're looking for some certainty in the market, you're going to have to wait until you get some breaks with conviction. Same thing here with Bitcoin. You've had some dips here, you've had some highs, but for the most part, this has been trading within a zone. Same thing with Doge, which we just looked at. We are now just breaking out recently here over like the last week, and we're going to see if this is going to be maintained, right? So we had, and this is actually good. I know if you're taking a look back over here, if you remember my stair step approach, this is actually good. I love seeing this here. I love seeing if you're going to have a big green candle here. I love building out a good floor before you build out another green candle. That's how you add stability to the market. For those of you that follow the channel, you know that's something I'm very passionate about, especially in long-term assets and getting positions as far as for or at least zones to enter and exit these assets. This is going to be something that I'm looking for. So what's happening right now with Bitcoin is absolutely fine. I love it. What we're just waiting for is some conviction here to see if this is going to be something that's maintained, or if we're going to see a sell-off here. Because remember, we've seen things not necessarily in this price range, but the 90s have been, I'll say, volatile, right, for Bitcoin. Right, you'll see like these huge sell-offs here, like what is this, February 3rd, and it was able to recover some of that and get back up. Was this dropped down to around 91,000? Was able to get back to 97. You'll see some of these larger candles here, major runs like on March 3rd up to around 94, then selling off back to 86. And you can go back here, back until November. You can see the volatility that happens in the 90s. So this is not a, I won't say we're not necessarily in a stable zone here, at least on the daily. You can kind of get like an idea, but overall, what I'm looking for is around that 99, 100K mark. That has been a interesting zone for us going back as far as November, right? And then, but typically if we get above that, we'll still see some volatility, but overall that's going to give us an idea of the strength of this movement. I think it'll give us some great foresight into the liquidity coming into the market for things like Dogecoin and some of your other favorite coins. So that is my price update. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know if you think that we are gathering the strength here for a major run, or if this is something that we're going to have to wait for conviction on from some of the macro events that are taking place. If you found value in the video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Thank you, and I will see you guys in the next one.